Have you ever picked up your phone to do something specific and then be distracted by something entirely different? Then 5-10 minutes goes by and you realize that you've wasted your time being entirely unproductive. It's similar to taking a trip to the grocery store to pick up necessities like eggs and milk, only to walk away with items you have no need for. So why exactly are our phones so captivating? And why do we have this impulse to always check them? The most important apps on our phones, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, are designed to capture and hold our attention for as long as possible. The longer they can do this, the more they can sell ads and the greater their profits. Just to put it in perspective, Facebook as a company is valued at over $400 billion. We must realize that there are thousands of engineers, software developers, and behavioral experts on the other side whose job it is to keep us hooked. In other words, the addictive nature of these services is not accidental, it's by design. And our minds are simply not evolved to handle persuasive stimulus to this capacity. Let's think of the tactics that are often employed, whether it's the streaks on Snapchat to the tags on Facebook. These are carefully crafted behavioral exploits. Even autoplay and video suggestions here on YouTube. All of these ploys are attempts by corporations to ratchet up their persuasive tactics. It's all an attempt to grasp your attention, to keep those eyeballs on that screen. The second thing to consider is the nature of the human brain. You see, our brains crave dopamine. This is the neurotransmitter associated with pleasurable activities like food, sex, and drugs. Well, our phones are a constant source of dopamine. For instance, when we get a lot of likes on an Instagram picture or replies on a tweet, you feel an instant reward, a feeling of social approval, and humans live for this. And each time we go through this motion, the behavior is reinforced, the habit is further developed through a psychological phenomenon known as variable schedule rewards. This is essentially unpredictability that we find addictive. In fact, dopamine levels have been found to spike when variability is introduced. For example, let's look at Facebook again. Once you start scrolling through that feed, you're never sure what you're going to find. Whether it's the photos of your crush, comments on a post, or just random comedy videos that a friend might have shared. You're itching to find what's next. This is the essence of any feed you find on a social network, be it Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's like a slot machine. Furthermore, one of the reasons our phones are so addictive is because they provide solace during times of boredom, loneliness, and restlessness. So whenever these feelings occur, we automatically pull out our phones without a thought. So that's the problem. The exploitative design of the apps that we frequently use, coupled with the hard wiring of our brains, just doesn't pair very well. It takes continuous and conscious effort to combat the impulsivity to check our feed every 3 seconds. So my recommendation is guard your mind like a temple and be purposeful with how you dedicate and what you dedicate your attention to. And that isn't to say don't use your phone for leisure purposes, but do so purposefully. And understand that the goal of app designers is to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible, even if it comes at the cost of your productivity, happiness, and psychological well-being.